Hi DIYers, Dylan here with Alarm Grid. Today we're going to review how do I get the master code for my PROA7 or PROA7 Plus system. So with getting the code, if you don't know the master code already, so say you moved into a home, the previous owner has changed the code and you didn't get the code during the purchase of the home, or you just don't have any contact with the previous owner, there's not really a way to get the code. You can reset the system if you know the installer code. But again, that depends on if the previous owner left the code as the same. Or if you have this set up with a monitoring company, you can call your monitoring company. They can access the system remotely and assist you in changing the code for this. So I'm going to review how to access this through the panel, show you how to access the master code, show you where that default option is just in case. And I'm also going to show you where to find the MAC and CRC codes for the system. So if you are interested in getting this set up with a monitoring company, that's what they're going to use to get registered and assist you with the codes. Okay, so we have our PROA7 Plus panel here. So this panel is not registered. So we're going to try a couple things here. Again, this is about how do I get the master code from the panel. So we can press the three bar icon down there. It's going to bring up our menu. We can go to setting. We can go to user management. And now say we don't know the master code, but we know the installer code. So let's enter the installer code for 112. That's going to bring us to the master option. And it's not going to show us the master pin, but it does give us the option to edit it. So I'm going to enter in 4321, 4321 to confirm. We'll save it. But we have an issue is because we don't know the master pin, so we can't edit that. If we try to put in our current code, it's going to fail. If we try to put in the installer code, it's going to fail as well. So not real much luck there. I don't want to default this, but for those who do, you'd go to Tools, enter in the installer code if you know it. 4112 is the default. Some people do change that, but most of the time it's going to still be set as the default. We can scroll down, default options, factory default. That's going to just reset the entire system. It's going to delete all the programming, so all sensors, all keypads, anything you have programmed to this is gone, and it will reset the codes. So if you are fine with that, if you're not wanting to set this up with a monitoring company and you're willing to reprogram everything to the system, that is an option for you. So if you don't want to default the system and you do want to get this registered with a company, there's a couple things you'll need to check. And again, this only really works if you know the installer code. So we'll press the three bar menu. We're going to go to Tools. We'll enter in that installer code. We'll go to System Information. And now these look like they're grayed out. Tapping on them doesn't really do anything there, but if you press the arrow directly, you're going to see the MAC address and the CRC code. So the panel MAC address and the CRC code is what you use to get this registered with an alarm company. So you'd want to write these down, you'd contact an alarm company, you'll provide them with this information, and that's how they register the system. Once the system is registered, that company can connect to this remotely and view all the codes and assist you in changing the codes as well. So you don't have to default the entire system. They can just change the code to what you want it. They'll send to the system and save. Now, for that to work, you are going to need to have this connected. Again, if you have a Wi-Fi card, you're going to need it connected to Wi-Fi. If you have cellular, that works as well because you don't really need to connect it. It's already in there and your company is going to connect to that cellular card. But say we only have Wi-Fi, we'll press Wi-Fi, enter in the installer code because we don't know the master code. And then this will bring us to the Wi-Fi networks option. And this is similar to any other device that connects to Wi-Fi. It's going to list your connection options here. You'll press on the one that you want to enter. enter in your password, and then connect. Once that's connected and your company has the MAC and CRC codes, they can connect through that Wi-Fi connection to get this registered. So once that's done, they access the system, they set the code, say just to the default 1234, because you want to set up the code yourself. After that's done, the default code is back in the system. This is how you can change it. So again, menu option on the bottom, settings, user management, 1234 is the code that they set, and it works because it got us in. But say you want to still use the installer code, you can do that as well, 4112. It's going to bring you to the same screen. It's going to show master. Again, it won't show the pin, but we know that our monitoring company has set this back to 1234. And we want to change it to something else. So you'll press the pencil icon there. I'm going to change this to 4321. Enter once again to confirm. Save it. And then we have to enter in the current code. And again, our company set this to 1234. And it's saved. Once it goes back to this page, it's saved. If it fails or there's any errors, you're going to get an error code up here. But we can also test this by arming the system.
Armed home.
Cancel it. Let's enter that new code we put, 4321.
Disarmed. Ready to arm.
And that confirmed that the code we set is working and saved. Okay, so we went over how to default the panel to retrieve the master code. Now, if you do default the panel, it is very important that any 6 or PROSIX series alarm sensors, that they're all powered on and within range of the panel. During the default, all these will be deleted from programming. If they're not powered on or if they're out of range though, they won't be deleted and they're essentially bricked to the panel, so they won't be able to be reused. So just make sure that before you default, that you check that you don't have any errors saying RF communication issue with any of the sensors, and that all the sensors are powered on. Also, when you are wanting to get the alarm panel set up for monitoring, if this was set up with a previous company through a previous owner, that account has to be canceled before this can be set up with another company. If the panel is already registered to another company, there's not really a way to free that unless that previous company unregisters the panel, which is usually done when the previous owner cancels their account. Okay, so that is how you get the master code from the PROA7PLUS panel. So again, if you don't know the master code, you can't really get the master code. You have to default the system if you know the installer code, or contact a monitoring company. If you're already set up with one or are getting set up with one, they can connect to the system remotely to assist you with the codes. If you did like the video, please like the video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and hit the bell icon to be notified about any future videos we release. If you have any questions for us, feel free to contact us. Our phone number is 888-818-7728. You can come to our website, which is www.alarmgrid.com, or you can email us. Our email is support@alarmgrid.com. Again, my name is Dylan from Alarm Grid, and thank you for watching.